Welcome to Elevating Your Life, where each episode is dedicated to sharing valuable information, useful techniques, and empowering inspiration so that you can experience personal and physical abundance. Success and happiness are within your reach. I am your go-to gal who will help you find your happiness triggers and a true elevated life. I am your host, Paula Vail. Hello and welcome, everyone. Oh, here we are again. I have just another amazing guest to share with everyone today. We have with us today Eddie Loussararian. He is a 2-time author. He is a professor. He has been a professor at 3 universities, 10 years experience, 17 years experience as a director in training, and so much more. Huge background. And we are going to really talk a lot about his latest book, and that is 64 Life Hacks for Success. It's absolutely amazing. And Eddie's going to just share some of his inspiration and wisdom with us. So excited to have you on the show, Eddie.
Thank you, Paula. I'm really excited to be here and speak about my latest project, which took over 18 months to produce. At the beginning of 2019, I sensed a shift in morale at work, and employee enthusiasm seemed to be waning. And I said, you know what, let me send some inspirational notes. So every day I sent out a quote. What turned, that quote ended up being a short story. And, weeks into that process, I realized that I was getting a lot of really good feedback from my audience, which encompassed about 1,200 people at the time. And the employees I was emailing read my message, and I started off with a short story about a personal experience that I had, and then wove that into a sales technique, a leadership technique, or something that they could do at home to inspire their kids. Let's face it, we all need inspiration. It's a different level of inspiration we need, but we all need it, right? So that's where this the idea of my book was born, and I called it my Finale Friday, or eventually it was called the Friday Musing. So things that I experienced throughout the week. I went to Costco, for example, had an experience there. I saw a child who was lost in one of the aisles, and a few of the moms around him swarmed and comforted him until his mother was located. And that was one of the chapters in my book. So a lot of those types of examples I added in there, and it became 64 weeks worth of inspirational messages. And that's why it's called 64 Life Hacks for Success.
Yes, yes. And every one of your messages is something that we can just sit back and go, wow, and think about that, and really how powerful that is.
Indeed.
Yes. And a few of my favorites, Eddie, was follow your heart and allow your passion to be your guide.
Yes, indeed. One of my favorites, which I learned from my dad at a young age, was carve your message on people's hearts, not on their tombstones. My dad used to tell us at a young age, don't praise me after I'm dead. Tell me that to my face when I'm alive, when I can actually feel good about the impact that I'm making in your life. So that became one of the chapters in my book. Carve your message on people's hearts, not on their tombstones.
Yes. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Because really, while we're with them and while we're in this moment and with the people around us, that is the time to be a message, be an energy, be a caring love and inspiration in their life. That is the time, not later.
Indeed it is, yes. So other things that I wrote about, in fact, it's on the cover of my book if you hold it up. I write about courage, relationships, family, love. It really runs the gamut. Time management, education, and each one of these stories are 1 to 2 pages long, so it doesn't take um, weeks to read. This is certainly not like a Dick novel where you start on page 1, end on page 700. This book is intended to be like a daily devotional, where if you flip through to the table of contents and you found a message that resonated with you at that moment in your life, you could flip to that particular chapter and within a couple of minutes be inspired and ready to tackle life's problems.
Yes, yes. And something I thought was very powerful: the negativity of the world can't put you down unless you allow it to get inside you.
Yeah.
What are your words to us when, if we are struggling with the negativity around us? What would you say?
That's one of my favorite quotes among many that I included in my book. And that was a real powerful message that really um, weighed on my heart as I researched for my book, did some research. And this particular one means, you know what, we take on a lot of burdens as we go through life. We have family issues, we have work issues. Some people are furloughed today. They've been laid off. They don't know when their next paycheck is coming. They don't know whether they're going to make rent or not this week. And if we let all of these things that are happening around us weigh on our soul, then it's really going to impact the joy that we carry with us throughout our day. And one day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year, and all of a sudden you're stressed out, you have anxiety, and a lot of people make difficult decisions at that point on what to do. But I want to encourage you, if that's you today and you're having issues with any of the above, seek out words or change your perspective. Reading this book is going to do just that. Sometimes a different voice is all you need. To shift the perspective that you have on life and to propel you in a different direction.
Yes, yes. I am so with you on that, Eddie. Our perspective is everything, because that really makes the direction of where our thoughts and our actions are going to go. And there are different perspectives to every situation, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. A lot of the messages tie to attitude. And to piggyback off of your point, Paula, a shift in attitude is easier said than done, right? We don't wake up thinking we're going to be a failure today. We don't wake up thinking, the world is going to crumble around us. Well, there might be instances in the day that we feel that way. That attitude shift in that moment is what's going to help you overcome any challenge you face in life. Yes. So whether that is a jobless situation or a relationship, or you're having difficulty coaching your children to with their homework, for example, asking yourself, is my attitude right for this situation? Am I aligned with the follower, with my leader, with the situation? All of those three things are what's going to make the situation and your feelings about that situation more pleasant.
Yeah. So ask themselves, just say, is that align with me? And really, would you recommend that anytime there's a situation where they're struggling, or perhaps just every morning looking at where they are, their surroundings, and ask themselves, what perspective am I going to take from this? Would that be a good follow through?
Definitely, yes. So every day, encouraging people to read one of the pages in the book, right? So if you use it as a devotional and you get that nugget of wisdom, now you're ready to tackle whatever life throws your way, right? And as you do that, you have to recall that I have shifted my attitude. I can no longer go back to the way I used to think, right? Because we all know doing the same thing over and over again is not a good idea. If it failed the first time, it's probably going to fail again. So to try something different and charging ahead in these situations with the new body of knowledge that you've acquired is, in my opinion, the right way to go.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work for you, that just means your situation wasn't aligned with your style at that moment, and another shift the next day might get you to the right answer.
Yes. Yes. And those words actually bring me right to some other words that you shared, and that was confidence is a gift that only you can give yourself.
That's right.
Oh, I loved that.
You know, for years as I was growing up, I would wonder, how am I ever going to make it big? Where is my, big break going to come from? How am I going to launch my career if this is where I'm at in life right now? And I realized that what I was lacking was confidence. It wasn't opportunity. It wasn't knowledge. It wasn't the talents or the gifts that God had bestowed upon me, but instead it was confidence, because I believed in that moment that I was a failure, that I was not, ready to rub elbows with the big boys or the big girls in town, and I couldn't compete with them. But until I shifted my attitude and gained more confidence in myself, did I realize that, you know what, I am as good as I can be in anything that I do, as long as I give myself the opportunity to succeed. And so every day I wake up believing, not thinking, but I believe that I'm going to succeed in everything that I do. And yes, I face difficult challenges, as we all do. That's a normal part of life. But through prayer, through my faith, through conversations with others, through lining myself up with resources, I figure out how to overcome any obstacle in life. So my message to you, if you're listening to this today, is get out of bed feeling really good about yourself. Find something that is going well in your life and leverage that. Build your confidence on one thing, and you'll find that many doors will open up for you. If your attitude is right, you have the joy, you have the passion to succeed, you will inevitably succeed in life.
Yes, yes. And wouldn't you say, Eddie, it's amazing when we shift that attitude and gain confidence and move forward, other people feel that as well.
Indeed.
And we can make a difference and help them to have more confidence.
Paula, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is something that I try to do every single day. Now, yes, we all have bad days. We don't all feel like going out there and being an ambassador to happiness every day. But I'll tell you one thing, the toughest days for me are pale in comparison to what other people in the world are facing. Mm-hmm. And on those days that are difficult for me, I try to recognize someone. I'll pick up the phone, call a friend, call somebody at work, email someone that is a distant acquaintance, and I will make them feel really good about something they did or said. And you'll be surprised how my tone, my attitude, my perspective on my day changes based on how I made somebody else feel. So I want to encourage all of you guys to do that. It's not about us. If we give gifts to others, and the gift could be, your time, it could be your resources, it could be a simple message, a text, an email, a call. Make somebody feel really special today, and I guarantee you, your perspective on life and the difficulties that you're facing in that moment are going to shift to the better.
Yes. Yes. I've always believed I have a server's heart, and with doing for others, I believe I receive more than what I'm giving. I mean, we get so much more, and just showing an act of kindness or giving a compliment, it's amazing what that does for us personally, as not, you know, not just the person that we're sharing that with.
Definitely, definitely. You know, it's all about happiness in life, and I derived happiness from at an early age. I derive it from money and how much I can contribute to my 401k, how much you know, where I can, which private schools I can send my children to, whether my wife was happy, whether we had a roof over our head. But all of these are material belongings in life, materialistic things that are fleeting, right? It's good to have in the moment, but how about the impression that you're leaving on people's hearts and minds and souls? Isn't that what it's really about, Paula? It's
Yes.
that's the type of legacy that I choose to lead behind, or leave behind. Easy for me to say. Uh, that's the legacy that I want to leave behind in this life. So as I you know, interact with more people, some of whom might be in a difficult situation and they don't know how to get themselves out of it, why not me? Why can't I be the person to set that person up for success in life?
Yes.
That's a privilege. That is a responsibility that I think all of us carry or should carry in life. If we don't look for the opportunities, we'll never find them. And just think that one person that you interact with today, if you just stop and spend a moment with them, learn a little bit about their situation, you may be the person that guides them to, you know, see the light at the end of the tunnel, to launch their career, perhaps establish a relationship with their children that has soured over the years. And for that, I think that's a privilege, an honor, and a responsibility.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that is so true. And it's so true. My gosh, to what, I can't think of a greater goal than to be a positive, caring person that makes a positive, caring impression on someone else. That, you know, that really is something to strive for in our life.
And it, you know what it takes? It's a choice, right? We all wake up with a set of problems and deliverables or tasks that we have to check off our list of things to do. God knows I have a honey-do list of my own every day I wake up. But in that moment, it's about keeping my peace. It's about giving back to others and really driving this life or this community forward so that we're all happy. You know, we don't have to, it's not the person who finishes with the most in life that wins. It's the person that impacts the most people's lives who I think emerges as the ultimate victor in life. And, you know, who am I to change that process or that thought?
Yes, yes. With the mindset of supporting each other and caring and, you know, lifting other lives as well as our own. It's huge what that does for our life and everyone around us.
Definitely.
Yes. So basically your book, because it has such a vast array of topics, it really is, it covers so many things, Eddie. This is what I felt about it. Emotionally, physically, business, relationship, attitude. It's an everything book.
It really is. It really is. You know, and speaking unbiasedly for a moment, I really think that I've captured the essence of life in this book. Now, is it the end all cure all for everything that happens in the world? No. Is it going to cure COVID-19 today? Absolutely not. But is it a guidebook and a roadmap to success to helping you emerge from the challenges that we all face in life? I believe so. I believe that it's worth spending a minute or two each day. And if you don't have that kind of time, maybe 1 minute a week is what you can commit to this. And I think you're going to be better off for it. There's a number of quotes in there from a number of really smart people in the world who have said, brilliant things over the years that I've captured in the book. It's really an easy read, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it if you give it a chance. And I encourage you to do so.
Yes, yes. Eddie, will you let everyone know where they can get a copy of your book?
Indeed. Yes, my book is available on Amazon in both ebook and paperback. I encourage you guys to read the paperback because it's a better, I'm just old school that way. I like to hold the book in my hand, feel the pages. But it's also available in ebook, like I said, and that's downloadable on any mobile device that you may have. So any tablet, whether it's a Kindle or an iPad, you can download it there. And one other use of this book is in the sales realm. So many of the people who lead sales teams are finding the techniques in my book really valuable because, like I said earlier, you may need a different voice in the conversation because you've been leading the same team for 15, 20 years. And to introduce a different perspective in one of your team meetings, reading a chapter out of the book, which again is a page or two long, might set your team in a different direction that will go and capture more market share. So think about it in those terms. It's not just about you. It could be business-based as well. If you work in the corporate office, your corporate team may not be fully engaged, and this book, I believe, has enough ammunition in it that will galvanize the team and improve morale.
Yes, yes, because attitude and appreciation and different, perceptions that we can use as a leader in a team or as someone in a team, it has huge effects, Eddie.
Yeah.
It does. It does. With a few minutes left in the show, what last thoughts do you want to leave us with today, Eddie?
Well, Paula, I want to thank you, first of all, for the opportunity to speak with your audience. It's been an honor for me. This is our second time talking about life in general. And my first book was a big success, When Bosses Go Wild. And I'm expecting that 64 Life Hacks for Success is going to be even more successful in the lives of society. So I really want to encourage you guys, whether it's through this book or a different book or plugging into a guest speaker, taking online courses, do something different that's going to shift the course of your life. That's going to change your mindset, change your attitude in a different direction. Now, that's not to say that your attitude or your mindset is wrong, but sometimes trying something different in life is what it's going to take. And that small shift is going to open up a door or give you an idea, maybe introduce a different business venture that you had never considered. And it's in those aha moments that we get through other people's perspectives that is going to lead us to the ultimate happiness in life. Yes. So thank you, Paula, for this opportunity. And best of luck to you all.
So welcome. And wouldn't you say, Eddie, every day in life is an opportunity to open new doors?
Indeed, I believe so. Every day we should wake up grateful that, of all the things that we have in our lives. It may not be much in that moment. You may have had some bad news coming your way, work-related or with your family life. But at any given time, here's what I like to do, and I want to encourage you guys to do this as well. Instead of focusing on the negative in that moment, shift that to, at least I have all of these other things to be grateful for. My car may have broken down on the side of the street today, but at least I have a home to go to. At least my family still loves me. At least I have a job to go to. And if you focus on the positives instead of that one negative that's happening in that moment, I think you're going to realize that, life isn't all that bad. That it's just an attitudinal shift that is required to change my, my frustration or my anxiety to more of joy.
Yes, yes. And that is so true. I just had a situation this last week where there was a little hiccup on something, and the person involved was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Always, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Mistakes happen. Little things in life happen. And that's it. What we focus on instead of this one little thing, but yet we have all this to be grateful for. It does. It really does change our perspective, doesn't it, Eddie?
One of the best bits of advice one of my bosses gave me over the years was, Eddie, if we just pulled you out of the equation of life today, life would continue to roll on. So I've applied that same thought to my challenges, right? If I remove this one challenge out of my life today, whatever that is, at work, with the children, with finances, my life will still continue. So why let that one little thing, as big as it seems in that moment, why let that cloud my judgment and in everything else that I'm about to do that day, right? So let's try to compartmentalize our emotions. Yes, in that moment, we might be dealing with something untenable or seemingly untenable, but focus on the positives and then get back to that one negative. In other words, leverage your strengths to capitalize on your opportunities.
Yes. Oh, Eddie, thank you so much. This has been so fantastic.
Thank you, Paula. I really appreciate your time today.
And I really appreciate yours. And to everyone out there, I appreciate you. Love, hugs, and blessings. Eddie, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you so much.
Right back at you, Paula. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.